Hey guys, welcome back to another Wayne's Country Living Live. I hope the stream is going to be doing okay because I am not at my house. I'm actually at my mom's. I'll explain why. For those of you who are already here, why don't you do me a favor and let me know how the stream's coming through. I'm sitting outside because I'm sweating like a stuck pig. I'm like dripping in sweat for some reason. I'm hot. Let me know how everything's going. Let's see, Amy Davis, USA Kiwi. Blurry, it's blurry. Yeah, it's I'm on a laptop. It's not the most ideal conditions. Um, Hopefully though the stream is going good enough. Um, Wallace Knife Works in Homestead. A Turkish sauna or a humid snowstorm. Yeah, it looks pretty bad, I know. But yeah, I can see it. It's bad. I'm just lit up by a porch light, but like I said, it's really hot. So the reason I'm here and not at home is because I've been out all day long. Among other things, I had to pick up some things today, but among those things were some chickens, and that was actually given to me by the Big Family Homestead. So I had to go. It's about 2 hours to get there. So I just literally got back um, probably about 30 minutes ago. So I didn't have time to go home and get everything set up. So I thought, you know what, I'll just do it here because I had the laptop with me. Um, so you're getting me here right now. Yeah, I know the picture is going to look good. Um, I'm just worried about the streaming. I don't want any buffering or anything like that to happen. How many did you get? I got around 30 chickens. Where is here? Oh, I'm only about 15 minutes away from my house, but I wouldn't have had time to go and set everything up and get everything done. So if you guys see anything, if you guys see my videos where I'm squirrel hunting, that's where I'm at. I'm actually where I usually go squirrel hunting. So for the moderators out there, Sean is a friend of mine, so I have a feeling he's going to say some really nice stuff. You guys can go ahead and leave him alone. Um, it's good to see you, Sean. So when I said I got about 30 chickens, obviously I'm not going to be able to house and feed 30 chickens, but what I'm going to be doing is butchering a lot of them out and putting some in um, my freezer, give some to family, and give some to people that I know are struggling right now with a meat source. John Lord, I get my chickens at the store. Well, that's all right, John. Nobody's perfect. Are they still in the vehicle? No, they are not. No, they're in a they're in a pen right now. Um, Old um, chicken house pen. What I did was I actually took the chickens home unloaded them, and then I had to drop the truck off and then get into my personal vehicle. Then I had to come and get um, my daughter. So by the time I get here, there was no time to go back home to do my live stream. So I'm at my mom's right now. She was watching my daughter for me. Why was Brad getting rid of them? Because they're going to a specific type of breed, and he wanted to get rid of the ones that he had and start fresh with a new breed. Me, I like barnyard chickens, and what I call barnyard chickens are mixed breed chickens. As long as they lay and eat good, I don't care what breed they are. You see here, according to this, I've got 34 people on, but I'm not using my normal system. I'm going to be putting out a video probably tomorrow. It's a driving vlog, letting you guys know some different updates and giveaway announcement and different stuff like that. So, forward to that. Hey, Suburban Hill. It was just hard for me to turn down the chickens. I've gotten a lot of flack from several different people. It was hard for me to turn it down. Whether they're laying or not, it's chicken, it's meat. So if I can't eat them, then I know people that can. Hey, Tawana. Is that Icky Can off grid? I can't hardly read that. Icky Can off grid. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much for karma. It's more for, you know, there's no reason for me to put 30 chickens in my freezer. Lord, I'm by myself, except on the weekends. And to me, I don't like to see anything go to waste. So I'm gonna keep some for myself. I'm gonna keep some for myself. I'm going to give some to family. My grandma said she wanted a couple, and then I've got a few families that I know could use some. So it's going to work out. And I have, the chickens didn't cost me anything. Costed me a little bit of gas to go up there, and plus I got to, hang out with the big family for a while. So, it was all good. Let's see. Why are you live streaming now? But anyway, you're awesome. Well, I appreciate that, but this is my normal um, time, or it should be. What time is it? It should be, yeah, 7 o'clock on Saturdays. That's my normal time, 7 o'clock. That's when I normally go on. And Big Family comes on, or not Big Family, Big Bear Homestead comes on after me. Hey, Catfish. Show your video with Brad today. I didn't make a video with Brad, and the reason I didn't was because he was already filming. So I figured it'd be kind of redundant for me to film as well. And plus, there was a whole lot going on all at one time, so I just decided to leave my camera in the truck. But I did record something on the way back, so it was a fun time. And you guys can head on over to Big Family and see everything that went on. Hey, Hope's Homestead. What breed is Brad changing to? You know what? In all the commotion, I forgot to ask. I don't know what breed he's going to go to. I think he told me at one time what it was, but I can't remember. Do you make any money from this? The only thing I make is whatever is AdSense. Whatever YouTube gives me, that's the only thing I make. Oh, you saw, so Brad must already have that video up. Okay. I I wasn't able to log on to my subscriptions. I just logged on here real quick to get on the live stream, so I'll have to watch it when I get home. Sorry if that was kind of personal. I was just wondering. Nah, I don't care. It ain't much. A few cents here, a few cents there, but it's just um, whatever YouTube gives me. That's all. So what's been going on? We've got a cold front moving in, and it's getting really, really cold at night. Right now, it's pretty good, actually. I'm actually feeling pretty good. I was sweating all day long. I still, even though I lost a lot of weight, I still sweat like crazy. But it's feeling, it's not too cold. I'd say it's in the 40s right now. Can't see my breath yet, so it's not too cold. But anyway, it's going to be getting pretty cold. We've got snow in the forecast for the end of the week, next week. So, yeah, 'tis the season. I'm burning brush, Wayne. You should come help. Yeah, I've got some brush of my own to burn out. Actually, I've been waiting. We've had a little bit of rain here and there, but I've been waiting for a really good soaking rain to get everything soaking wet. That way I can burn without worrying too much about setting brush fires. Hey, Deep South Homestead. This time last year it was 50-degree weather. I remember Christmas, it was in the 50s. So we're actually at our normal temperature for this time of year. So some plans I've got coming up. Uh, I added the 30 chickens, but they're not going to be around very much longer. Also going to be building at least a new runner for my chicken coop. The coop itself will be okay, but I want to make a bigger runner, give them chickens more room to run around, make it better access for me to be able to get in there and do whatever I need to do. So that's one plan that I've got coming up. I've also got I got a new GoPro camera. Well, it's kind of a generic GoPro camera, but it's got a way I can strap the camera to my head. Yeah, that's a train. Sorry, guys, there's a train track that goes right up 23 there. So that way I can give you guys a point of view reference when I'm hunting and stuff like that, hunting and fishing, and um, give you guys a little bit better content. Action cam, possibly. I don't know. It's a I can't even remember the name of it. My chickens aren't laying worth a crap. Yeah, it's a bad time of year for them. They usually go into molt around this time of year when they're trying to transition into the winter. Um, as far as my chickens go, um, they always slow down. I might get one or two a week compared to what I got a day. So it's just part of it. Lights on in their coop all like for 12 hours from like 7 o'clock to 7 o'clock or whatever. I've never gotten into that. I don't want to have electricity out there, and I don't have the money for solar. So I just don't get into that. That might help them lay a little bit better. Plus, feeding them a good organic layer mash, um, that will keep them laying good. I feed them layer mash all year long. So I'm also thinking about getting pheasants. Janol Zero has pheasants, and they've intrigued me. I think I might do that. I just have to register with the ODNR, and they come out and inspect some stuff. But from what I understand, it's relatively painless. You pay a small fee a year, and so I'm thinking about doing that. Big Bear Homestead. About time you show up. One good thing, Jason, is since this is live, you can't fast forward and jump through my videos. Yeah, John, I know LED. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to get into putting lights in my chicken house. That's all right, Jason. I understand. I get where your priorities lie. That's okay. Maybe you can get ducks now that your neighbor has the new pond. Yeah, maybe the pond won't be filled up for a long time. Um, but hey, Ricky Wallace is in here. I didn't see you. Everybody say hi to Ricky. Um, I the reason I don't want to put lights in my chicken house is the chickens. It's a natural thing for them. Um, I don't want to put artificial light in there to make them lay more. It gives them, I don't know, a break or whatever. But I just don't want to. I want to make it as natural as possible for them. I don't want to stress them out too much. You live near rural. You live near rural, near Janol, and you have ordinances regarding fees and licensing for pheasants. That surprises me. Yeah, this is not a city ordinance. This is a state law. Um, if you're going to house some sort of wild game, which pheasants are, chickens are not considered wild game. Rabbits, um, what I've got, the type of rabbits that I've got, are not considered wild game. But pheasants are, and deer. You can actually house deer. You can keep them as pets, but you have to register with the ODNR. They have to come and inspect your facility, make sure they have plenty of room, make sure they're not being abused. So the same thing goes with pheasants. It's considered a wild game. It is what it is. I try to obey the law the best I can. Last thing I want to do is get fined $100,000 because I didn't have a $5 permit. Everybody say, I tell you what, we had. I didn't get to see him for very long, but when Brad and Jason and all them were up at Janel's, and Ricky and Uncle Buck, it was really nice seeing everybody. It's like, and then of course I saw Brad again today, so it was really nice. I don't know if it's called a license or if you just have to register. I don't. It's not like, I don't know what it is. I mean, that would be a good question to ask him. But anytime you're housing wild game, it's you either register or um, it's basically, I'll give you permission to keep pheasants if you give me money. What do you think you'll be adding to your homestead in 5 years? Hopefully, my next adventure is going to be hogs. Um, a ways off probably, but I would like to have one or two, um, maybe even one, and then have it bred. But I would like to get into that. I have enough land where I can fence off quite a bit of land, um, and be able to house them. So I just gotta get the funds together, get everything pastured in, and get ready to roll. Big Bear Homestead is up next. Jason's mad at me, I think. I think he's mad at me. He was texting me the other day, and I was in a bad mood, I guess you could say. But my back was just giving me fits. I'm telling you, it was hurting. This was one of the worst pains that my back has given me in a long time, and it stems from a car accident I had a few years ago, and it just never was right since. So every so often I twist it wrong, or I get in these positions where it seizes up on me. And so he told me I was crabby or cranky or something like that. I said, I'm not crabby. I'm just in an intense amount of pain. I'm not mad. Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad. Wayne, your weight loss is amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, the it has made me feel so much better. I can't even describe to you how much better I feel. Um, to me, there's not enough words to be able to describe it. It's like I was saying on Brad's channel today. It's I've lost altogether over 50 pounds. Um, so when you lose 50 pounds, it's like you're carrying a 50-pound sack of feed right here, right on your chest and your stomach, and it's like you're just losing that. And it's just so much better. I can go up through the hills better. I can go through. If I was there, I'd kiss you on the mouth. I thought you said you wasn't mad at me. You're gonna go and punish me like that. Don't feel bad. Jason doesn't talk to me anymore either. That's a shame. Wayne, did you buy your property from the neighbor who just made the dam? Wondering if you can someday extend behind you. Yeah, well, um, it's all, yeah, I mean, it's all owned by the same person. Mine is just a little sliver of what he owned. Um, and people, um, one thing that did concern me was the dam, the levee where it was at. If that breaks loose, it's going to come and wash me away. Um, so one thing that did concern me was that, but it was done professionally. It wasn't done by some hilljack redneck. These people were were actual professional pond makers, where they know how to do the levee, and they test them, and there's some strength and stuff that's done. I don't know anything about it, so that made me feel um, a little bit better. But this is only like I'd say the 10th or 11th pond they've made, and they've never had a problem. They've got over 100 and some acres of cattle farm, and so this is just the last one they've made, and I'm sure there'll be more to come. They just like to rotate their cattle from pasture to pasture, and then usually they made that one into a hayfield, but I think they're going to turn it into a pasture field and then put their hayfield somewhere else. Wayne doesn't answer Skype calls. Yeah, sometimes I don't. I guess it depends on who's calling. Hey, big family, did Brad low hug you? That's between me and Brad. Some things you just can't tell. Now I had fun. I thought it was great. Um, it, I What was funny is I was following a GPS, and then I ended up passing his house and going like 6 miles out of the way, and then coming back and didn't my own fault because I wasn't paying attention to the addresses. I was just going by what the um, GPS said. So I had fun. It was great. So I was talking about my neighbor's property. Somebody asked me how I went about Jason. Jason, you're trying to cause trouble. I did watch that. You know, what would happen if an EMP went out and you didn't have a GPS? How would you be able to get there? And as I said, which I know you probably can't listen and type at the same time, but what I said was it was my own fault because I wasn't paying attention to the addresses. I didn't get lost. I just passed it up. I was on his road. I just passed it up. I wasn't paying attention like I should have been. And if I would have been paying attention to the addresses, then I would have been fine. So I had to go down, turn around, and come back because once I did pay attention to the addresses, I realized, hey, wait a minute, this is wrong. Wallace Knife works. Ask my wife. She knows where to turn and when to slow down. That's why I switched my GPS voice over to a man's voice because I didn't want another woman telling me how to drive. Golden comments. Oh, okay. See, they asked me and I didn't. Either you told me and I didn't remember, or you never told me. I couldn't remember. So, oh no, you didn't. Sorry, sorry. I always like to make that joke. Sherry Cherry, what's the climate like in the winter where you live? That was a burn. Sorry. I had to say it though. Mine is a female. Never can trust a man with directions. See, you proved it. Well, maybe. Um, but when I get lost, then I don't have somebody saying, "See, I told you you were going the wrong way. Turn around. I told you you were going to get lost." Sherry lives right down the road from me, Wayne. I don't know much about the thing about Australorps are the reason I didn't like to get them. They're so winter hardy that when we have our 90 and 100-degree weather in the summer, I was afraid it was going to be too rough on them. I know that they acclimate to it. I was still worried about that. Like if I was in the South, I probably wouldn't have Australorps, but that's my own opinion. I mean, Rhode Island Reds are great. Those were my first chickens were Rhode Island Reds, and they laid like crazy. But Wayne, I get a tad perturbed knowing men lose weight faster. Sorry, sorry, I can't help it. They can handle our heat. That was the only thing that stopped me from getting them because I've heard some horror stories. Um, oh yeah, the Australorps are excellent layers. They're probably one of the best laying birds out there. I think they still hold the record. One of them laid 364 eggs in a 365-day year, and that's incredible. So yeah, they're great layers. I was just worried about, to each his own, whatever you guys want. I just that's the only reason I didn't get them. But my chickens are barnyard. I'm sure I've got Australorp mixes in there somewhere. Who is that behind you? I don't know. I'm too tired to turn around and look. So if they're gonna do something, just make it quick. Jane will Jane will doing the Wayne sigh every time he calls me. Hey Wayne, let's go fishing. Okay, I gotta work. He goes. Is someone outside looks like light of some type? Possibly. I don't know. My uncle and aunt live right there, right behind us. I don't know if you can see it. So it could be them. I don't know. I don't hear anything. Don't see anything. So it's oh, you know what? That might be the road. You might see there's a road about 100 yards up. So it might be the cars on the road. Jano is a nice man. Yes, he is. I have to agree with that. It's good to live near relatives or like-minded folk. Yeah, I agree. No, it was a face. Whatever. Whatever. I don't know. Whoever it is, I just hope they make it quick and painless. I'm definitely too tired to run. That's for sure. Unless you have relatives like mine. Looks like he was in his 60s. Well, I hope you're not talking about my uncle because I don't think he's in his 60s. He walks around here, I'm sure I'd hear him though. I don't know. Let it, whatever. Janel was the first YouTuber to respond when I sent a message asking for advice. I was so surprised and thrilled. He gained a huge fan that day. The thing is, Janel is really good about that. If somebody actually sends him a private message asking him a specific question, he always takes the time to respond. I can't say enough good things about him. He's like my brother, man. I wouldn't be the same without him. That's for sure. You going hunting tomorrow? Maybe. I don't know yet. It all depends. Wayne, I didn't think you were that gullible. Well, it's not about being gullible because there's sure he could be walking around here. I didn't think there's an axe murderer behind me or anything. My relatives are so slow to catch on to prepping for any kind of disaster. They think the government will be there Well, the government will be there. They'll be the ones cracking the whip. When are you going fishing with Jane? Please don't bring that up. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Wayne fishing. I'll tell you what, I can't wait till it gets warm weather again so I don't have to hear that sigh anymore. I honestly think he does it on purpose sometimes. He'll call me knowing the answer, and he asks me the question, and then he just gets that sigh ready. Channel laughed so hard, pooped in pants. Yeah, I agree with that, Southwind. They'll be the ones there to take everything you've prepped so that they can give it to everyone who hasn't prepped for the disaster. It'll be socialism without money. It'll just be with goods. And they've done it with our money. Why wouldn't they do it with our goods? That's a very real thing. You can prep all you want, and the government will come in and say they'll create a tax out of it. Because money won't mean nothing, and money won't mean anything, and then so you'll have goods, and they'll treat it just like a tax. Jano, if I was closer, I would go fishing with you. Oh, Jason, it's hard for me to go fishing with my job. So what's up with that, Wayne? I don't know. Maybe it's my full-time job that pays my bills. I know, pathetic, isn't it? In the wintertime, I am horribly busy. By the time I get home, it's normally dark, and it's hard for me to take any time off to do any kind of fishing or anything like that. So there's no lot of guilt tripping going on here. There's no guilt trip. It's just the way it is. I've got to work, got to make a living, got to have put money in the pocket. Um, I only keep certain kind of goods at my home. The rest is in location, so that if anyone tried to take what we have, they wouldn't get it all. Paranoid or practical? Practical, because um, like I said, they're going. If and when the crap really hits our entire monetary system will be irrelevant. Paper money will be irrelevant. You're going to trade in goods, and whether that be bread, canned goods, any kind of food, that's going to be your money. Food is going to be your money. Um, Stocking up on gold and silver is not something that I would necessarily agree with. For me, I know some people do, which is fine. For me, I believe that food will be the money, and so that's what they're going to tax. They're going to tax our goods. They're going to tax what we have because they're going to want to give it to people who didn't prepare, and it'll be socialism just on a different form. And this isn't political. This isn't about Democrat or Republican or whatever. But it's they've already proven it by taking money out of our checks that we've earned um, and giving it to people. And some people deserve that. Some people, I don't care to help people out, but there's people out there that don't, that just flat out don't deserve it. There's people out there that get around better than I do that could go and work a job, but they just choose not to. They cheat the system, and I've seen it firsthand. They can't tax the fish you catch. Well, yeah, obviously. I know you're trying to be funny, but they can tax the canned goods you've got stored up. They can tax the meat you have in the freezer. They can tax, the bullets you have because that's what you use to go get your food. Oh, don't mention deer in here. Jason gets all funny. He gets his feelings hurt. Taxation is theft. I can see your point on that to an extent. I don't, paying taxes, if they spin it the right way, if they spin it right way to help us live in a civilized society, so they say, that would be fine. But they're spending my tax dollars on things that I really don't agree with, and there's nothing I can do about it right now. Um, I work a full-time job. They take taxes out. It's mandatory. I get maybe some of it back at the end of the year, but I don't get all of it back. And so they're spending it. They're spending it on stuff that I don't necessarily agree with, and then all of a sudden, I've got of cars on our roads. Where's that money going? I don't understand. I'm paying a state tax. I'm paying federal tax, state tax, county tax. It's like but why are the roads so bad? Why is it that they're always broke? It's because they're spending our money on stuff that we don't necessarily agree with, or they're lining their pockets with it. Exactly right. Yes, I pay our income tax because I like living in that same house rather than behind bars. And that's the main reason people pay taxes is because they'll come and they'll arrest you, and they'll arrest you quicker for tax evasion than they would if you committed murder because they got to get their money. Jason, you crack me up. My ex-wife made those potholes every time she took a step. Now that's a burn. Yeah, they're taking those taxes and spending it on things that we don't even know. We know just a fraction of what they're spending our money on, and you know, you can go in there. Yeah, you're welcome to go into commissioner meetings or trustee meetings or whatever and sit and listen, but they're only going to tell you what they want you to hear. So, I think that most of the time it's going into their wallets or their pockets, and the rest of it's going to pay for their next election with lobbyists. And you can't spend $100 million on an election and not owe somebody somewhere. You just can't do it. So when you get into office, then you have to spend taxpayer money in order to go towards programs that the lobbyists want or the people that donated the money want, and people like us just get left behind. I bet they go fishing trips with their friends. Yeah, they probably do because they have that luxury because they don't actually have to work for a living. I have to work to pay taxes. They go fishing and collect my taxes. I also hate the amount of money that I have to pay to keep my house that gets poured into the government training camps that I did not send my kids to, aka public schools. Yeah, yeah, because you spend, let's just say you spend 30 years paying off a house. You never really own that house because you have to pay taxes on the house year after year after year, even after you've paid the bank back. So if you don't pay that, they come and take your house. So it's like you have a title that says it's in your name, but technically it belongs to the government because you have to pay them in order to keep it. And so you pay them to keep your house. You don't pay it, you lose your house. What does that sound like to me? Sounds like repossession. Because if you don't pay it, they take it, right? That's exactly what it sounds like to me. You don't ever really own your property or your house. My annual car taxes are $700. Ohio is a little bit different. You actually pay your taxes with the registration when you go get your tags. I know in Kentucky you have to pay a yearly tax every year on them. So I know there's a lot of people. I actually um, sold a car to somebody in Grayson, Kentucky, and he was telling me, he goes, yeah, he goes, I had to find a cheap enough car because they tax me every year, and it's insane, you know, for the amount, not the amount the car is worth, the car. So, I mean, technically, you could say sell a car for 10 grand, but only put on the title that you paid $500 for it, and so you'd pay less taxes. But I mean, if you get caught up in that, that's probably another huge ordeal. See you, bear, Big Bear. I probably won't be able to make most of your show because as soon as I'm done here, I'm going home. Looks like we've got 62 viewers. This is that's a record, isn't it? Have I had more than that? I can't remember. We have a good standing of living in our area, and I like that we have great roads, schools, elder assistance, vet housing, and with a registered legal homestead, 100,000 is safe from risk. Yeah, Beth. I mean, I'm sure that's great, but you come here, and people are poverty stricken. People are roads are horrible. There's no jobs. There's hardly any income. It's uh, it's a really bad area. Really bad. Yeah, then you die and pay 50% in death taxes on, yeah, the money you leave behind, if there is any left, is taxed again. You've already paid taxes on it once, and then your family has to pay taxes on the inheritance. Donna, our laws protect heritage homesteads until they get to the point where they don't want to do that anymore. They go in there and they rewrite the law because who's to say they can't go in there and just rewrite the law and then they can take whatever they want. Car tags here are $89 no matter what kind of car it is. Um, I think ours is around $35. But what's funny is if you have a regular driver's license, you have to pay every 4 years like 30 some dollars. If you have commercial driver's license, you have to pay 50 some dollars. But it's the same card. Is it that they have to use more ink on it because they have to print commercial driver's license? You know, just another tax. And then I have to pay $100 every 4 years to keep my hazardous material endorsement on my license and get fingerprinted. Fingerprints don't change. I get the background check, but I have to go every 4 years, get fingerprinted again, pay $100, just another tax. So I've got 10 minutes left. The homesteadnetwork.com, I don't have it flashed up on here because I'm not actually at my regular computer. Go to the homesteadnetwork.com and put your email address in there, and they can send you notices of people that, if time changes or anything like that, to let you guys know. And also, don't forget to go over and check out the Big Bear Homestead. And I apologize if I seem not myself, because I'm like really wore out. I've been up all day long, a lot of driving, and it's just been one of those days. So you guys have any final questions for me before I close out for the evening? Yeah, in Georgia, they will impound your car if you drive without updated tags. They'll do the same here in Ohio, for sure. It doesn't matter if it's 1 day past, they can impound it. Hey, Off-Grid Nation. Haven't seen you in here for a while. I'm glad you could make it. When you come into Florida to see us, I wish I could come right now, Ricky. I honestly do. I wish I could just pack up and drive, because I actually used to live in Florida. I don't remember how long. It wasn't very long, but lived in not Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, it was Fort Lauderdale, I think. Fort Lauderdale, a place called Boynton Beach, and a place called Seffner, which was just outside of Tampa. I remember the place in Seffner a lot better than I do the others, because that was when Hurricane Andrew came through, and my mom said, "That's it, we're moving back to Ohio." So Florida to visit. I don't think I'd like to live there, but everybody's still talking about taxes. Yeah, I kind of got that ball rolling. You don't remember? Yeah, it was in the 80s. It was late 80s, early 90s. It was when I was a kid. I was I can't remember how old I was. I know I started kindergarten in Florida, in Boynton Beach, and then I don't know. I think we moved to Seffner. No, we lived in a place called Tamarack. There was a place called Tamarack we lived in. I don't exactly remember where that was at. I thought it was near. I thought it was near Fort Lauderdale, but I can't remember. The last place the last place we lived there that I really remember a lot is Seffner, which was outside of Tampa. I remember climbing trees, playing, getting ate up with fire ants, going and swimming in the Gulf. I remember all that, but a lot before that, I don't really remember. I remember stealing the heads off of sprinklers in Boynton Beach, and then the next day the water was shooting straight up in the air because I thought they were cool. I didn't know I was stealing. I just thought, oh, hey, cool, those things are nice. There's sprinkler heads on them, so it was water just shooting straight up in the air. Tamarack is a subdivision of Fort Lauderdale. That's what I thought. We lived in Tamarack for a little while. We really wasn't down there, from what I remember, too long. I think I started kindergarten, and then by the time I was in second grade, we were back in Ohio because Hurricane Andrew came through, and it was kind of scary because Hurricane Andrew was pretty bad at the time. Of course, Katrina was worse, but at that time, Hurricane Andrew was a pretty rough hurricane. And we were out back to Ohio, where we've got tornadoes and stuff like that. I lived in Fort Lauderdale and now in Lake Wales, Central Florida, between Tampa and Orlando. And I used to visit Ormond Beach a lot, which was north of Daytona. Everybody's still talking about taxes. Sorry, I got that ball rolling. That was definitely a can of worms. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Don't forget to jump over to the Big Bear Homestead and check out his live stream, allsaidnetwork.com for all showtimes. And don't forget to put your email address in so you can be updated on any kind of schedule. So we've got about 4 minutes. If there was anything else you guys had to ask me, go ahead and ask me, and we will. I'll answer them real quick before I jump off here. BC truck. I pay a stupid tax every day. All right, guys. Well, I will try to be over on Big Bears. I'm going to try and get my daughter ready to roll and get out of here so we can get home. But if not, I'll see you guys on the next one. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.